cone, but you have to teach the cone, and the fence will kind of help educate on teaching the cone. So in this particular case, on this tunnel, just teaching tunnel break to go back, we would put the cone about right here. And basically what I'm teaching the dog to do is go between the cone and the tunnel. I assume most of us, if not all of us, have taught cone for dogs to go around it. And that's something that kind of scares people because they're like, I taught my dog cone, because it will be common that they'll come out and maybe target this and go around it, or just not turn, whatever it might be. Don't be scared if you use this as your foundation for reps or whatever it is that you've done. I do it too, we do it, we all do it. Think of this more as like an off-course potential. If I'm not cueing this cone, they shouldn't be going to it, so keep that in mind here. So basically what we're going to be doing is teaching our dog how to go through the tunnel and then fit through this gap here. The nice thing about the cone, once we teach them how to go through it, and I'll talk about that in a second, it's a really good prop to put into coursework because it's not one that restricts them at all. So if you notice my cone placement, I didn't put it right here. So it's not used as a physical block. So when they're entering the tunnel or exiting the tunnel, they can see the cone in that spot, and they're naturally going to prepare back there to not hopefully run into it, most dogs. It's gonna be a little bit recessed, and the two reasons for that, why that's important, is one, if they make this turn through the gap, they did this pretty genuinely. The only way they can fit through here is if they prepare in there. So I know that if they made this happen, they thought of it before they got there, and the cone is not visual to kind of block them like a fence would be. So it's pretty genuine for them to make that turn. The second reason why the cone is in this particular placement is it's really good to do some either-ors. So once they understand how to come between the cone, and like in this sequence here, it's really good to have that out because I can do tunnel break, come in, and I can also do tunnel, and this cone's not in my way, and I can work my straight. So I can go between teaching both my tunnel turn and my tunnel straight. And whenever you're teaching the dog something like this, whatever skill it might be, always remember to equally train the opposite of it. So the opposite of tunnel turn would be tunnel go. The only way they'll have a good tunnel break is if they have a really good tunnel go. They need to really understand both halves of it to really understand one of them. So keep that in mind as you train these skills, as agility gets a little more popular on like the skill training. And so how we teach them to come into the cone is I might start putting the cone out in a visual place for them to see it. So I might have it a little bit closer at first, that way they know that they see it and they can prepare for it. I won't keep it here for very long, maybe only a session or two before I move it, kind of like right there, where it's a little bit out of view, but it's not as far as back there. And then the fence will come into play, and I will put the fence here to kind of guide them through it, and then once they're getting the hang of that, and they should pretty easily, because there's a whole fence here, we'll move the fence back here, like this. So again, while they're in the tunnel, they can see this, they know it's here, but they technically do have the option to come around it and obviously not record this. One reason we really like the cone as well is it's a very black and white, whether or not they made the turn or not. There's been a lot of times, like, let's say there's no prop here at all, my dog comes out and they do like one of these through here, you're like, kind of like a gray area. Was it really a tunnel break, or was it like, it's kind of unclear? While the cone's out, it's very black and white. Either they were on the correct side or they were not on the correct side. So it's pretty clear in that regard, and a little less confusing on those gray areas of whether we can accept the wider turns or not. Does this make sense? Any questions on that?